In this video, we're going to take a look at Filmconvert Nitrate, the latest version of the film emulation plugin. Filmconvert allows you to achieve an authentic filmic look for your footage by emulating real-world film stocks and grain, and this can all be done in just a few clicks. It's available for a variety of platforms including Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve. This latest version of Filmconvert works really well with log profiles now, including HLG, and one of my favourite things about this version is that you can now edit from what is essentially a film color negative using the Cineon workflow. For this first set of examples, I'm going to be using Premiere Pro, and later on we'll take a look at the Resolve version. To add Filmconvert within Premiere Pro, just drag it onto the clip you want to edit. I like to add it onto adjustment layers, as this allows me to keep the unedited clip underneath and I can make additional adjustments if needed. To start working with Filmconvert, you need to choose the camera you worked with and the picture profile. For me, that was the Sony A7iii III, and I shot in S-Log 2 with S-Gamut. Filmconvert will detect if you're using log or a standard Rec. 709 profile, and the controls will adjust accordingly. As I mentioned before, you can now use HLG as well, but if you are, make sure you use the Rec. 709 and not the BT20 color space to get the best results with Filmconvert. Each camera pack has been designed to work with Filmconvert's 19 film stocks and 6K grain scans, making sure you can get the best looking image possible for your specific camera and color profile. The film color slider adjusts the balance between the original digital color camera palette and the film color palette. The Filmconvert website suggests that you would typically leave this at 100% film, but you can adjust it to your taste. The Cineon to print slider will appear if you are working with log footage. It will allow you to decide if you want to work from your original log footage or from a Cineon Log workflow. This is emulating how your chosen stock would appear if you were working from the color negative using the Cineon process. Nitrate processes all color changes in log without clipping or crushing any information prior to applying the film stock. We'll come back to the Cineon workflow later on in the video, and I'll explain a couple of ways in which you can work with it. For now though, we'll stick with the original log footage. The first set of adjustment sliders after your camera selection are your basic exposure and white balance controls. I usually don't touch these until I've chosen my film stock however, and so we'll skip that for now, but we'll come back to it later. Now this is where you can choose your film stock. If you've worked with actual film before, you may be familiar with some of the stocks already. If you haven't had the opportunity to work with film, don't panic, as that's part of the fun of Filmconvert, as you can experiment with the different stocks available, seeing how they affect the image. There is also a handy guide on their website giving you a breakdown of each of their film stocks. After this, you can choose your film size, which will impact how the grain appears on your footage. This ranges from 8mm to 35mm. The grain response curve below that allows you to customize your grain response to your needs. For example, if you need less or more grain in the shadows. You can see how the sliders are affected when you choose different film sizes. The smaller the film size, the less sharp your image will be. This can be adjusted however if you want to maintain that sharpness. The presets built in are great, and I don't often need to adjust them, but it's nice to know I can. Below this, you have the standard color wheels, curves and level controls. When I work with Filmconvert, I often use a combination of the controls built into the plugin and Premiere Pro's native Lumetri color controls. That basically sums up the main points of the Filmconvert plugin for Premiere Pro. Let's take a quick look at how Filmconvert differs slightly in DaVinci Resolve. In Resolve, the majority of the basic controls are the same. The only slight difference is that you now get an overlay when you apply the open effects, but you can hide this if you don't need it. Where you apply Filmconvert in your node tree is completely up to you. For this example, I'm just working with one basic node. As promised, let's take a look at the Cineon workflow with Filmconvert. When you set the slider to Cineon Log, you will notice your image appears flatter and more saturated. From here, you can adjust your image to suit your needs. You will notice that your workflow will differ slightly from traditional log footage. I'm just going to do some basic contrast and saturation adjustments. This is not a workflow I'm personally too familiar with, but it's fun to experiment and create looks this way. Another example of how you can work with Cineon Log is to choose your initial film stock to work with as a color negative, and then use a separate film print emulation to finish the look. Film print stocks would traditionally be used as the final touch, however in this digital workflow you can add in additional nodes or adjustment layers in between to adjust the image further to your needs. Here are a few examples using this method. There are so many ways you can use this plugin. You are definitely not limited to the examples I've demonstrated here. You can always give the free trial a go from their website to see how it might fit into your workflow. As always, I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this on cinematography and filmmaking in general, you can subscribe below or by clicking the link on screen. I make new videos every week and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.